Peace. So we back. Yeah, it's been a little minute, and as you can see, some things have changed. If you if you got introduced to me at the beginning of this vlog, then you could see that my hair is different. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, what I had in was extension locks. But I am still a locked queen, okay? So it wasn't a full catfish, because they still hid and they still long and luscious. They're just not all black and blue. Sometimes they blue. These were originally blue, but they faded to a nice foresty green. So still cute. And if you looked at any of my other media or videos, then this looks more like that. Also, yeah, your girl got some new ink a while back, but the reason for my delay was I had to take a break. I had a passing in the family. One of my aunts passed away from cancer at the top of the month, and it's just been a lot going on, y'all. It's some periods of time where life just throw a multitude of things at you, and shit started to get overwhelming. So I needed to just whoosah, take a breather, take a break, and tend to the humanness that is me, and kind of step out of the world of Jennessy for a second and just get into Jenne, so that is the transparency of that, baby. It's been hard. It's been a lot going on. It's never really easy losing somebody that has been in close proximity to you, for one. I mean, it's my freaking aunt. But also has been involved in pivotal moments of your life. I used to live in my aunt's house. We didn't live together, but she allowed me to live in her house. I was renting a room from her, one of the houses that she owned out here. And that was the first place that I lived in after I moved out of my mama's house. And that's the first place that I started recording all of my projects in. Butterfly Effect and Metamorphosis was recorded in that bedroom, baby. So yeah, a lot of my just growth and inner transformation really came from just being in that house and being in that space. So for that, I'll always have a depth of gratitude for my auntie. And I decided to start back up because my auntie was a Leo, and what better time to start back up and come out and be seen again than Leo season. So I'm really dedicating this episode to her memory, and just paying homage and reverence to just a gained ancestor, and just all the fellow ancestors that have also just transitioned within the past couple years. We've lost 3 people in 3 years. Since 2023 was when my eldest uncle, 2024 my grandfather, and now 2026 my auntie. My uncle and my auntie were Leos, and my grandfather was a Libra. So yeah, the fall time kind of hurts a little bit. But well, the end of summer, beginning of fall, that time, brings up memories. Plus also my maternal grandmother who passed was also a Leo. So, a little touchy for me, but it's also just a reminder to just keep going, to keep shining my light, and that they're still with me even if they're no longer here in the physical. They're still with me in the spiritual. Their presence is still available to me. And it's like, yo, I gotta it's just a reminder to keep take a break when it's necessary. You're not a machine, and you're a human, and you have emotions, and sometimes we need to pause and breathe and grieve and cry and process and do all of the things. But then, you know, once we have flowed through, and honestly, grief is a strange thing, because especially when it's someone who's profoundly impacted you or that you had a close connection with, it doesn't ever really go away. You kind of just you just learn how to navigate it, you know, a little bit more proficiently, if that makes sense. I mean, shit, because I'm still grieving my grandfather. And like, you know, so it's like, yo, you're still grieving people, and then there's more people to grieve. So it becomes overwhelming at a point in time, and it's like, yeah, I need to sit down and like actually deal with this. So that's where your girl's been. I've just been dealing and healing through the things, baby, flowing through the motions. That's what we could do. And as a Pisces, I have an ocean of emotions, okay? Like, so I be needing to, you know, I need to swim through the depths and then rise back up. And you know, so now I decided to come back up for air with the land dwellers. But no, I really just wanted to talk about just, you know, taking that time for yourself as a human, especially as a creative. Life happens. We go through ups, downs, ebbs and flows. It's a part of life. Death is a part of life. It's a natural thing. That doesn't mean that we're always going to be ready for it. That doesn't mean that we're going to always be prepared. That doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt like hell when it does come, especially when it's your loved ones. But, you know, I would be remiss to just give up, you know, and allow myself to fold under the pressure of another phase of life. You know, the only thing constant in life is change. And you're gonna always have to adjust and acclimate to a new norm in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just working to acclimate to a new norm. I appreciate all my loved ones, my community, my friends, my family who have reached out, who've sent their condolences, sent their love, sent their prayers during this time, you know. And I appreciate everyone who's also honored and respected my need for space. I know everybody handles grief and things differently. Sometimes people need to be held and supported and constantly checked on. Sometimes people need to be left alone and just to deal with what they deal with. Sometimes they need a balance of both. And I'm a person who kind of needs a balance of both. I need that, okay, check in on me. Don't, you know, words of advice for people who want to be supportive during their loved ones during times of grief. I wouldn't try to refrain from asking how are you a lot, if I'm being honest. I mean, everyone's different again, but for me personally, it's like, I understand, like, I don't be mad at people who hit me up and be like, how are you? I hope you're well. I don't be mad at that per se, because, you know, obviously you mean well and you really, it's a heavy time, but you really want to make sure I'm okay. But at the same time, it's like, as somebody who's going through like that, it's like, how do you expect me to respond? So, you know, I don't be knowing how people expect me to respond or answer that question. It's like, yeah, your auntie just died, but how are you? And it's just like, I'm not okay, nigga. Like, what do you want me like what do you want me to say? Are you okay? No. like no. Like, shit sucks. Like, but again, I know they mean well, you know, it's well intentioned. I would just say I would prefer maybe just think about and consider just, what can I do for you? What do you need? You know, I would prefer to be asked that than how are you every day, because obviously there's some days I'm just not gonna be okay, and I'm not the type to really lie about how I feel. So I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not okay. Like, what do you want me to say? And so, but I do still appreciate the consideration, because I do want to be thought about. I do want to be checked on. And some days I wanted to be left alone. Like, I needed time. Like, sometimes at some points you might want to stretch it out a little, because it can get overwhelming just getting an influx of messages constantly asking you, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? And then it's like, okay, All right, I don't want to respond to nobody no more. So, but I took my space to myself and took my time, and I'm okay. You know, we haven't been able to have the funeral as of yet, so we're going to be having her funeral and laying her to rest officially. We're trying to wait for some of our family traveling from Jamaica and other countries to come. But yeah, so keep you know, just send love and positive energy to your girl, because you know, yeah, it gets heavy, man. It gets tough, and I am a human being and I am a sensitive soul, so I be in here crying. But I wanted to just take the time to just check in and tap in with y'all, let y'all know I'm still here, let y'all know I am not giving up. We still keeping it pushing, we still doing what we gotta do. But I just needed to, you know, have a human moment and take a break. And with that, I'm just gonna say, don't ever feel bad for taking a pause, you know, taking a time for yourself, pouring into yourself. The work will still be there. You can always get back to the work. You can always get back to the creativity. But, you know, you still got to tend to yourself, tend to your vessel, tend to your mental and emotional health, physical health. Pour into yourself. Make sure you drink and eat. And even if it's not a lot, make sure it's nutritious, you know. Still take care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself. Even when you don't feel good. I know it's hard to, like, do things that make you feel good when you're not feeling good, but it's necessary. You know, we have to. It's a part of that self-love and self-care. We got to still take care of ourselves. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, and I will be back next week, and we'll get back to it and talk about, you know, some other things. But for right now, I just wanted to tap in and check in and let y'all know where I'm at. Thank y'all for being here with me, and yeah, peace.